Boom. All right, so we welcome back to Snip Talks MMA. On this episode, we're going to talk about the top 10 heavyweights in the UFC and their next potential fights, how we feel about these fighters, and what potentially can happen for them moving forward in the future. So, obviously, the first fighter that is the champion in the UFC right now is Stipe. And more than likely, his next fight is going to be against DC. DC obviously is the number one contender. I think after this fight, he'll probably retire. But I will say, Stipe, man, that last fight against DC, he made those adjustments going to the body. It changed everything. He was losing that fight, in my opinion. DC was doing his thing, but he got too comfortable punching. And it's like, DC, why are you not wrestling? Bro, you should wrestle. What are you doing? But instead, he wanted to go ahead and strike. He said he was feeling good and, everything was working out for him, so he just decided to stand on the feet. But DC, you analyze fights. I know you in the thick of things, but dude, why don't you fight the fight that you know you're supposed to fight to win the fight? Yeah, you knocked him out the last fight, but that don't really matter, DC. But anyway, I feel like if they do the rematch, DC will probably get that W, ride off into the sunset, and retire. In the process of him retiring, then we have a big shakeup. Because now we're going to have somebody fight for the vacant belt. Now, who can fight for the vacant belt? Well, we'll go ahead and go through the video and figure out who will fight for that vacant belt if it happens that way. So, obviously, the next person that we have right behind Stipe and DC is Francis Ngannou. Now, we know that Ngannou got those, I don't even know what to call those hands, deadly, if we put it that way. We know that he will put you to sleep if he can with those hands. Anyway, I like that better than saying, get these hands like Braun Strowman in WWE. But, so, Francis Ngannou, he fights at UFC Columbus that Rosenstruck, March, I think it's 28th. It's an ugly fight. Somebody's getting knocked out. I really feel like Francis will go ahead and take him out. I don't know how, but there's no way that Rosenstruck is going to beat Francis. My opinion. I just don't see it. I mean, if you guys see it, please chime in the comments. Let me know. But currently, right now, today, January 5th, nah, it's not going to happen, man. Francis Ngannou with the W. He'll be moving on, waiting to figure out about this title shot that he's supposed to have. The next fighter, on the list, number 4 in the rankings, is Curtis Razor Blades. Now, I like Curtis Blades, man. Good, strong guy, good quality wrestler. We know he had those issues with Ngannou. He had lost, got the TKO loss. But, hey, Blades came back really strong, man. He ended up beating Justin Willis, decision. He beat Shamil. Now he's fighting JDS, January 25th. And that's going to be a crazy fight when they fight. I don't even know how to do it. I mean, JDS is, different fighter, man. It's wars, man. Take a toll on you. So, wow, man, that's a tough one. I don't know how I go. I'm gonna probably go with Blades though. I think Curtis Blades will actually win that fight. I don't see, man. That's a really tough one, man. I think Blades. I really like Junior Dos Santos, man. I'm a big fan. When I really think about it, I think about how everything been going with the pedigree, the wrestling, and everything. Yeah, I know it sounds like Triple H. I say pedigree and wrestling, but we talking about MMA, UFC. I really feel like, Curtis Blades will win that fight. Behind Blades, obviously, in the rankings is Dos Santos at number 5. So we'll see how that go. Man, I like JDS, but Curtis Blades will win that fight. Right behind Dos Santos is Rosenstruck. Now, he did have a good showing. I'm never going to discredit Rosenstruck for what he did against Alistair. You know, we all seen the pictures of the lip on Instagram and everywhere else. And the lip was, all hanging and all crazy. But I don't think he can do that to Ngannou. I mean, unless you guys feel like he can, I just don't feel like it's possible. Yeah, this would be a knockout. I'm not even going past the first round. Before the round is out, somebody's getting knocked out, straight up. I mean, you guys tell me what you think. Is there any way it doesn't happen? I mean, behind Rosenstruck, we got Derek Lewis, and I like Derek Lewis. He's fighting the next couple months. And I think Black Beast he'll go ahead and win. He fighting Latifah, and that'd be a good fight. It'd be a really good fight. Derek Lewis, he probably, it's probably a 3-round fight. He probably take him out probably the third round, about the middle of the third round, catch him with a nice overhand, ground and pound him out, then do that funny celebration he do. And, hey, just follow his Instagram because, it's one of the best Instagrams for fighters that's out there right now. So I got Black Beast winning that fight. After that, we have to go on to Alexander the Great, but not Volkanovski. Not Volkanovski. I like Volkanovski. He's great, but we're talking about Volkov. Drago. Yeah, not Draco, Drago. We talking about fighting, not rapping, not Soldier Boy, because that's different stuff. But Alexander, he a good fighter, man. He doesn't fight long for some reason. I don't know why he don't fight long. It's weird, like all that size and everything. I'm always gonna think how Derek Lewis beat him. That's the only way I can think of Alexander. That's messed up, man. I wish I didn't think of him that way. He's a great fighter, man. I don't know. I guess I'm disappointed, man. I don't know. Just disappointed, I guess. One after that, we got Alistair Overeem. The Reem is the man. Been fighting K1, Pride, everything. And I will say that I don't know his next fight, but did you guys see how fast he healed up? I don't know if it was stem cells or that horse meat he eat or whatever, but I will say Overeem look regular. You barely see a scar. High quality plastic surgery right there. I like Overeem though. His striking is still top notch. His chin is like Glass Joe from Mike Tyson Punch-Out, but overall, I like Overeem. Good quality guy. And then to round out those top 10, we got Walt Harris. Now we all know the situation with Walt's stepdaughter, and rest in peace. We pray for your family, brother. Walt Harris is a great fighter, man. He on a 3-fight win streak. I know he tested positive against that Arlovsky fight. He ended up testing positive for some kind of steroid, but hey, Walt Harris is a great guy. I know also on that UFC Columbus card with Ngannou versus Rosenstruck, you got Greg Hardy, and a lot of people got opinions about Greg Hardy. He's learning. He can strike a little bit. He's an athlete. I'm just not a particular fan of Greg Hardy, but, I respect guys that try to change their lives after situations with that DV stuff that he was dealing with. So, no judgment, no bias. I'm only here to talk about MMA, UFC, Bellator, ONE. So many organizations, PFL, we can just talk about. We do everything. So I feel like that's my top 10. If you guys got an opinion that someone else should be in the top 10 or my rankings a little off, let me know. But that's how I see my UFC rankings right now. If it was overall, I'd probably throw in like Bader. Bader's solid. I don't think Fedor will be in the top 10. Maybe the top 20 for sure. Czech Congo. There'll be like maybe 11, 12 if I had to pick him in there. There's some guys in the heavyweight division that I think can make some moves. But, we can see what happens. But you guys tell me what you think about my UFC top 10 heavyweights list. Comment, like, share. Catch me on the next one.